Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news, just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it, plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. Female voices in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune into the Ladies in Red.
Hi guys, welcome back to Ladies in Red. I'm absolutely buzzing for this one. As you can see, I've got Bavvo with me now. Bavvo, me and you go back a long, long way, but it's actually the first time I've got you on my channel, so this is a bit of a monumental moment. But firstly, I want to say thank you, obviously, for joining me. And yeah, how are you doing today? You all right?
Yeah, feel good, man. Obviously just got back from work, so we're both back to work. But yeah, I feel all right, man. Ready to go.
Good. And now I will warn you guys, a lot of people talk about my yam accent. Bavvo's probably got a more broad one than I have, so we'll talk about that first. But no, obviously, Bavvo, we want to talk a lot about your journey today. Obviously with boxing and stuff. And I know a lot of people will be in the chat who have followed your career, but there'll also be a lot of people who don't know much about you. So I want to obviously get that across. But first thing I do want to say is that, like I say, we go back a long, long way. So we played football since we were 11, 12, I want to say.
Yeah.
So way back, and even back then, obviously, you were kind of juggling two sports. So I think the first thing I want to say to you in the first place, like, what made you then full on drop the football? Because I'm not going to hide from it. She's a baller as well. Obviously, you played for Wolves, Tigers, Crystal Palace, a very good footballer. So what made you like think, you know what, I want to do boxing full time over that?
You know what it was? Like, football was my life for so long, and I think it just consumes you so much. From like 5, I was playing for boys' teams. And it was just everything to me, and it just took on my life. And I wanted to play for England. Like, all I wanted to do was play for England and just become full time. And I think I got to the stage where it was like I needed to get really fit, and then like a coach come into my school, and a boxing coach come into my school, and I took on boxing to get fit for football. And then I was just literally fell in love with boxing. And I was doing both of them, and they fell on this different days, so I was able to do something every day. Like, I was training then for football and boxing every single day. Like, I didn't have a day off. And it just, like, I just had to, in the end, it was just like I had to pick one. And, you know, I love football so much, like, and it's just, I had to pick one, and just boxing just took over. Like, it became an addiction, and it was completely different to football. In terms of lifestyle, discipline, dedication. So in the end, I just had to pick boxing. But yeah, man, I do miss it, man. Football, I miss it every day. Like, it's just a different feeling, really.
And obviously boxing, I'll be honest, it takes a lot of like guts to get in a ring and have a fight with someone. Like, I always said to you, like, obviously your last fight wasn't the outcome you wanted, but I said to you, for me, you're a winner anyway, like, for getting in there. Like, and like you say, it's very different mentally, isn't it, from that of a footballer? Because football obviously is a team game. Obviously you have your own objectives, but boxing is very much all pressure is on you. And you've kind of already answered my next question there. I was going to say, what made you get into boxing in the first place? And you said that there's a coach who came to your school. And from there, really, was it just you knew, like, yeah, this is a sport for me?
I knew that I was sporty. Like, I'm a PE teacher, so I knew that, like, at school I loved all sports. And like, I love to fight. Like from our area, you just have to fight. Like, so, but like in a disciplined way, and it like it taught me like how to like release stress and like control my anger a little bit. You know what I mean? But mentally, boxing just next level. Like, and I've come to that mindset now where it's just bulletproof, and you know, I believe that I could beat anyone that I get in the ring with. But with football, it was like you had 10 other players on your team, like, and obviously it's a team sport, so it's like if you lose as a team. When I'm boxing, it's just me in there, and that's it. Like, and other girls come in to try and kill me as much as I want to beat her. You know what I mean? It's just me and her, and that's it. So it kind of consume me in that way, because it was so much more difficult, and that's what kind of got me then, because I felt like with football I've gone up to the stage where I've gone up to the highest level I could have, like Premier League football. I was playing for Palace, Blues, you know, I've played for Wolves, and I just thought, Baggies. You know what, and Baggies, man. But
let's not forget that.
I just had to pick it, and I got the chance to go professional, and that was that was it really. I had to pick other one. Because I wasn't like, I was at the stage where I wasn't really getting anywhere. I was just like balancing off. I wasn't really putting enough time in each one. And that's why I've picked like boxing. But yeah.
Fair play. And you've had a lot of opportunities to be fair from boxing. Obviously, you're similar age to me, so you've had a very successful career, you'd say, in your boxing career, especially over the last few years. Like, it seems like you've really come into your forefront with it. And obviously, you've managed to train abroad. I've seen it a lot of your stories and stuff. I know you've trained like in Spain and that as well. What's it like having that experience? Obviously, I'm not blessed enough to say that I've been able to train abroad. Like, is it tough doing it?
I love it. Like, I got the opportunity to go to Chicago. I trained with Jessica McCaskill and their team. I've gone to Tenerife, trained with them. Like, wherever I go, I train, and like I find a gym, and you just connect with so many people. Well, through sport, you know yourself. Like, you can connect with people all over the world just through playing sport. But yeah, like obviously it's different. The time's difference is a bit hard because like you're trying to train and get up, and it's tiring, man. You get that jet lag on the way back. But
then let's not forget you're tying that with full-time job. You mentioned there you're a PE teacher. Obviously, you're a colleague of mine, and I can honestly say like I've never met anybody more committed to you. Like running before work and then training direct. Like I know you're about to go training soon, and I've literally just got in from work. So like I can't express enough like how much this girl like dedicates her life to boxing. Like, it is incredible. And like I say, like I think now you're reaping the rewards from these massive fights that you get in. Obviously, you won the welterweight European title, didn't you? Got a massive fight coming up in May as well against Lauren Price. What would you say then so far? Obviously, prior to that one, what's like the biggest audience where was the biggest audience that you've had to fight in front of?
I think it was like obviously fight camp was amazing when I fought Sandy Ryan. That was an experience. Eddie Hearn's back garden, like. You'll never get that again, like ever. So that was one experience I'll never forget. Obviously when I won the European title in my hometown, so in Wolverhampton, you know, I brought a lot of fans in from that. I think it probably on the Sky Show when I beat April Hunter, which no one likes to talk about, but me. But yeah, everyone goes on about that. That was a massive win for me. Like 4 days notice, I've gone over there on my own, me and Paul Mann. And we've beat her like on the away bounce. And I remember her saying to me in the medical, like, you know, I hope they've paid you well, and you know, thanks for coming. And I'm just there like, mate, I'm gonna. But
you're just there for the paycheck,
Like, I'm gonna beat you. I ain't here for the money. I'm never here for the money. Money's nothing to me. Like, money means nothing. This is all about winning for me. Like the obviously the emotion of winning comes above everything. You know what I mean? Money can't buy that.
I can honestly, like, say, from an individual perspective as well. Obviously, we've won trophies together in football and stuff, but I imagine nothing really compares to that feeling that you've done it, like you've achieved it, especially in the short notice like that as well. Is crazy. We've got an interesting question here actually, and someone else asked this on Twitter when I posted it yesterday, and it's all about this in the news at the minute about trans women. I guess for you, this applies a little bit more. Like, in terms of you as a boxer, like, do you have like a political stance on this, or are you just like, I'll just fight anybody? Like, I don't really care about the background. Like, where do you stand on that? Because that's massive in the news at the minute, isn't it?
I don't really agree with it. Like, really, I don't know. I won't want to.
It's hard, isn't it?
I won't want to. I don't know. I'm not a big. I don't like getting into anything like that because it's like, I don't know, man. What do you?
I agree with you. I agree. Like, I try and think of it for me. Like,
woman.
Yeah, but it's like so hard now, like the way like obviously the world is going and stuff, and we know from working in the school like a lot of the issues that you face and stuff like today as well. Like, I'm a bit like you, like it's a bit alien to us, isn't it? Like, we never really experienced like having to think about that before, and I'm a bit like you, like I don't really know where I stand on that. Like, it's a bit of an odd situation.
And then what if you do say the wrong thing, then you'll get like criticised, do you know what I mean?
Exactly, so you gotta be like really, really careful. I agree with you. But I was just thinking, like, from your like stance as a boxer, like I'm guessing that question like probably will become a lot more relevant for you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like as opposed to me as a footballer, like boxing or fighting or UFC or anything like that seems to be more where this question is leading to. Alex has asked the question. He is right as well. He says, which team does Bavvo support? It is the Wolves, of course. Big Wolves fan. Obviously, we went to Wolves against United together and whatnot as well. And I just want to say, PSB, thank you for that. Come across my Ellie's channel. Please do subscribe and hit the notification bell like he has as well, and appreciate that. Looking forward to the show. I guess I've had little Bavvo, and I know you know who little Bavvo is,
Mm.
asking me a few questions on Twitter and whatnot. And she asked me who is your favourite boxer and why. And I know there's been a few times where you've had pictures with like Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. I know you used to be a big AJ fan. Like at the moment, who would you say who your favourite boxer is?
You know what? I'll always follow like AJ and yeah, everything he does. Like as a group, like all our friends and that, we followed AJ from young. Like we've always gone to his shows and we've travelled to Cardiff and whatever else and London. And we've always followed him, man. I think, he was my role model, like, and he's carried British boxing for years. And he brought that back to me when I was younger. Like, I wanted to kind of be on the big shows like he did, and he brought back that kind of that buzz around the shows and that. And I think, I'd say him, but I like to follow Lomachenko as well, like and boxers like that, like a bit different, boxers that are just coming up, like the underdogs and that. That's what I like, really.
And obviously you go to a lot of shows as well, so I guess you see more of those like new talents coming through before. Like for someone like me, for example, who only really watches the big fights, like you get to see those boxers before they get big. Do you know what I mean? So you get to have that little like head start, if you like, with people like that. And I'm thinking a little Bavvo and other people as well. Obviously, there'll be a lot of youngsters, I'm sure, who'll tune into this. Like, what advice would you give to youngsters, like young girls in particular, who want to get into this sport? Like, what advice would you give them?
I'd say just keep working hard, man. Like, I think that one of my main aim is to just inspire the youth, man. That's why I'm still teaching PE and whatever else, whatever background you're from, whatever like journey that you're taking. I think you just need to work hard and you need to believe that one day you will make it. And it's just like, for me, that's all I want to do. All I want to do is inspire like kids to take part in the sport, or in any sport though. This is like I know what sport can do, like for you, like how it can change your life. You'll always have something to look forward to. Like every week you'll have training on a night, or you have match day on the weekend. Do you know what I mean? Like you'll always have something to look forward to, and in the way that it socially, mentally, like emotionally improves your life. That's what I aim for.
And I guess it's that resilience,
like,
isn't it?
What's that?
I was going to say, I guess it's that resilience as well, isn't it? Like, how many times do we see like people getting down? And I think having that background like you've got there, like that resilience, just to keep trying. I think your journey is like epitomizes that, doesn't it? Like you didn't feel like football was going right, so you know what, you thought, I'm going to try boxing. You didn't give up. You just found your different pathway, and I think that's a good message.
I think like obviously I had a massive injury as well when I was playing football, and there was like, you'll never play football like again, like to the level that you was playing at, because at Coventry at the time, and I completely ruptured my knee, completely ruptured my ACL. I had to have full knee construction, and there was like, you'll never play again, like to the standard. And I was like, you know what? Like, you don't even know me. Like, you don't know the resilience that I've been through. You don't know what I've been through in my life. So it's like, I ended up playing at a higher level than Coventry. I was at Crystal Palace for a season. I was playing first team football. And I completely my knee's been sound. Like, my knee's been perfect. So, whatever you're going through, you can. I've lost my last fight, that door's closed, but then with this next one, another door's open. So you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going through, and then one day, hopefully, you'll get to where you need to be. But I'm nowhere where I want to be. Do you know what I mean? I'm 30 years old, and I'm still not where I want to be. So I think you just got to keep going through it, man.
100%. And Roger said that equality is so important in everything, and he also says never give up, which is 100% agree with. And we talk about equality and stuff as well, and I guess this applies to both your football and your boxing. Like, but as a female, I mean, I particularly think about it was like growing up playing for Wolves and whatnot, and we've got to try and find sponsors to try and cover our costs for our kit and the referees and the travel and whatnot. Like, it's just madness when you think about that now with the money that's involved in sport. But what barriers would you say you've had to face, like growing up, like being a female, especially in a sport like boxing, where I imagine you've been massively the minority? Like, I guess in all your training camps, that been majority males, hasn't it? Like, have you found many barriers with that?
I think, like, especially playing football growing up, it's like I got bullied, man. Like, I was in boys' teams, and you just get bullied. Like, you just say, "Oh, you're a boy," like, or whatever. Like, you get bullied growing up because they think, oh, you're a boy, what are you playing football for? What are you boxing for? Like, I was like 12, 13, going in boxing gyms, and I was the only girl for years. Like, there was no girls that couldn't match me. I had to travel to, like, you know, Wales and things like that. And you just get bullied for, like, they call you a lesbian, like, they'll call you, like, different things, man. It's just...
And get back to the kitchen and all that stuff as well.
Like, it's madness, like, you know, and obviously I've been a pro now 5 years, and it's still difficult. Like, you know, I do want to be full-time boxing. Like, it's hard teaching as well. Like, teaching's a hard job. Like, teachers are underrated, man. Like, we do so much.
It doesn't stop, does it? Just doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop, like, 24/7. Like, you could be going home and you're worried about the kids that you've just had. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's hard to get. It's better now. Like, I've worked my way up. Like, I've got more sponsors, but, like, you know, not enough to, like, do anything with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Starlord's just put a question in there. It says your top 3 female fighters and your top 3 male fighters, and it's a question obviously for you. It's often like a question for me because I'll struggle to name 3. You know what I'm like, but your top 3 for each one. So, yeah, do you have a top 3 female fighters? I guess that's hard for you, isn't it? Katie Taylor up there?
Not for me, probably. I don't know. Well, it's got to be Jessica McCaskill, man. She's helped me so much, and I think it's just like, in terms of personally, I'll say Jessica McCaskill. I'd say I think Rhiannon Dixon's going to make it big, and I reckon Sandy Ryan will win on Saturday as well. So I think them 3 probably. Yeah, them 3 are probably my favourite.
Yeah, and you've already kind of covered a few of the male ones, I think, to be fair. But AJ's up there, you said.
AJ, I'd say AJ. Who am I thinking now? Lomachenko, and probably one of the local fighters, Tyler.
He will obviously be fighting.
You know, he's the same. He'll make it now, but yeah, probably Tyler.
Fair play. Love that back in the locals as well. Alex has asked what your thoughts are on the Joe Joyce defeat. Did you watch it, obviously, at the weekend? And he said, what do you think his next course of action should be in response to this setback as a fellow professional boxer? Like, if you were him, where would you go from here? Is there a rematch clause in that?
I'm not sure on the rematch clause. I think there will be a kind of rematch. I think he deserves a rematch. I think he would change his ways. There was talking about that he come in too light. But, like, I remember Joe Joyce when I was at Earlsfield, so we had, like, the same amateur coach. I remember him coming in and stuff like that, and he's a nice guy. So I hope they do have a rematch. I hope he does, like, put things right and analyses the performance from Saturday. But yeah, I mean, it was a tough one. He didn't change his ways when he kept getting it, and obviously I've got a southpaw next as well, so I know how difficult, like, the sparring can be and the training. But yeah, hopefully he does. Hopefully he will come back for me, and he'll come back. Like, hopefully they get a rematch, so he can put things right.
Alex has asked me, am I going to attend the FA Cup final at Wembley this year? I hopefully am. Bav, obviously, I don't know if you want to join me for that, but I am hoping to get to Wembley to see United against Chelsea in the FA Cup final. Tickets I know are going to go on sale fully on Friday, so I'm going to be looking at that for sure. But yeah, I'm hoping to be there, and hopefully I can do some content for you lot as well. Should be a good game. Chelsea obviously are flying at the minute as well. I'm United, mate. Stupid question. United. But that's an interesting point. Obviously, Ash Neville is someone that we both played football with. Quality player. Ironically, I used to play up front with her, and now she's playing fullback for Spurs, but a great player. Like, how do you feel? Like, I don't know about you, but I actually do watch quite a lot of Spurs for Ash, because I just think it's class that someone that I knew so closely is now, like, representing. Like, I'm praying for an England call up for her, and I think she's pushing for it, to be honest. I mean, where do you stand on how she's doing?
I think she's doing, like, amazing, mate. Like, it's good to see that one of the locals are coming through. You know what I mean? And it's class that she's full time now over there. Like, it's class. Like, obviously she played with us, and you know what I mean. But yeah, it's amazing for her. I hope she'll get the England call up, because she deserves it, man. She's always worked hard, and she's always got back. and she's always like put the graft in, man. Training and matches. I just remember like it was non-stop work, non-stop graft. She had an engine, and she wasn't afraid to get stuck in. So.
And I remember she was like working as a primary school. I think I don't know if she's teaching assistant or teacher, but then she was going straight from primary school like full-time work to then going traveling and playing. And yes, like a bit like you, her dedication is second to none. And now she's getting those rewards. And fingers crossed on that England call up for her. Let's hope she doesn't forget about us when she's getting that England call up and that get her some tickets. That'd be class. But obviously, we mentioned there about that determination and that hard work. But what would you say is the biggest thing if you want to be a boxer? And again, I'm talking to the younger generation really. But what do you think is the biggest trait, if you like? So obviously we spoke about like your discipline, your weight and stuff like that, like the diet and how strict you have to be with it and stuff like that. Like what's the biggest test, do you think, in order to make it?
It's just like lifestyle, I guess. You know, you've got to change your lifestyle. Like you gotta miss out on certain events. You've got to, you know, dedicate. You got to get your sleep in. You got to eat the right foods. I mean, when you get to a certain age, like you can't be going out with your mates and drinking and doing whatever, and you miss out on so much, and you're isolated, really. But like, obviously, if you're in a team sport, I feel like with football and that, it was a bit different. Like you could go out on a Friday, for example, but with boxing, obviously, you're on a weight kind of category. I couldn't say like the difference. It's just hard work and keeping disciplined and just listening to your coaches and just knowing your faults and like actually like trying to improve them and not thinking that you're good at everything. You know what I mean?
What's your this was another question that I had on Instagram as well, and it was basically what you would suggest to be if I was a boxer, what my walkout song should be. I'm going to kind of twist it a little bit. You can obviously answer that, but also I want to ask you like what kind of walk? Because you seem to have a varied vibe. I've noticed you have a lot of like Afro beats and stuff like that. Kind of Beyonce era, which obviously wasn't planned to be. It was meant to be Burna Boy. But like, what do you tend to go for? Because obviously a lot of people say a hype song, wouldn't they? But what's your like? How do you choose your walkout song? Because that's a big choice, man.
You know what? It depends on what's going on during the camp. Let me just put that back on. It's just my thing's gone off. It's just what's going on during the camp. Like, I don't know. I remember one camp I split up with my boyfriend, and I was just like a bit like, this is a way to like get over him kind of thing. And I come out to some like Spartan Soldier, I think it was. But that was that, and then it just depends on what's going on, how hard it is. If you've come across like any injuries or anything like that, then it just depends on that, really.
It's like your mood, really.
Yeah, I'm based on mood. What did I come out to last time?
It was like Afrobeats kind of song, I swear. It was like
what did I come out to now?
I can't even remember. I remember.
Oh, it was Champion.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Because I was European champion then.
Yeah. Can we have any inklings about what you're thinking this time, or is it secret till the night?
I'm trying to get someone to rap me out. If I'm honest. I want. Do you know what? I'll visualize.
What about Zio, who did my intro? Get him on it. This class.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's proper good. He's like old school as well. Do you remember the days of like DJ Apostle and that?
Yeah.
Zio's from like back in them times, but it's done like songs with like JME and stuff as well.
And
like Devilman and stuff like that. But he's good, to be fair. Like
you know what? I've always visualised. You know, like the kids' dance club.
Yeah.
Like coming out and the kids are like dancing behind me or dancing down with me. Do you know what it is as well? Them kids will always remember that. So it's like it's a way of like inspiring them as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's unique, isn't it? It's something that no one else really does. Like, and that, I think that reflects as well, like your daytime job as being a PE teacher, then being able to incorporate that with like what you do is obviously your sport. And that was one of my questions, but you've already answered it, to be fair. I was going to say, do you think your career as a PE teacher really helps with that younger generation, like what you've been through, the mentality you have to try and create that next athlete? But you've kind of already answered that when you say you aim to be that inspiration. So I actually feel like that would be amazing to have something like that because it's so unique. And big up to Doug. Hope you're doing good, Doug. Starlord to get H to come and wrap you out. Jamie and Burner. I mean,
Jamie would be good.
Jamie would be class. But Lady Lee, she was talking about it yesterday as well, obviously being from Brum and that as well. That would be class. That would be proper class.
You're trying to get Lady Leisha. I hope she does come through. That would be I want that Queen's speech coming down, and it'd be
Yeah,
the King's coronation. So that just matches just right, mate.
Yes, true. That would be quality. Honestly, if you could do that, that's mad. I'd literally be speechless if you can manage to do that. And what channel is your fight on against Lone Price? Is on Sky Sports. It is on Sky Sports, am I right, isn't it? Do you want to tell
Yeah,
people the
it's on
details of your fight? Because the next one was going to say, do you want to talk a bit about the fight? Obviously, you were European champion, as you say. For me, wrongly stripped of that belt after that fight, but we're not going to go into that too much anyway. But this fight now, like, where does this stand in correspondence to that? Because obviously it's history making. Why is it history making, Bav? Can you explain that?
So there's never been a British. Women haven't boxed for a British title before. Just the fact that there hasn't been enough women turn professional, I guess. Obviously in Europe there is, and world there is, but I think like there hasn't been enough women. Like, you know, even when I first turned over pro, there wasn't that many women in the UK at my weight. So yeah, they've made this for us, really. But yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing, and it's making history. And it's hard to take in, really. Like, it took me like a few days to actually like realise, because, you know, I don't really look at, you know, what you can win. I just want to win. Like, and it doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter what it's for. I just want to get in there and just win. And that feeling of winning, I've said before, like, it's above everything that you could ever feel. Like, even scoring a goal, like, you know what I mean? You're playing football, you score a goal.
I do that too often, but
nothing beats it. Nothing beats it. You know what I mean?
No, it is right, especially like if it's a winner as well. Women's Boxing Channel, a great interview. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, I think like me and Bav, because obviously we've got so many stories we could talk forever, but I am going to try and keep it to the boxing. And Alex has had a good point here. He said, what changes would you like to see put in place for professional women's boxing? I guess one of them is, you kind of touched on it there, like more professional women being involved. Like, so it creates more opportunities for titles like this, doesn't it?
Yeah, I suppose more coming through and more turning over. But I think the levels, like people at the top, at the bottom, I think there's a massive gap of, like, you know, level of boxing. So you go from like being coming through GB or whatever, and then you've got boxers that like me, for example, coming through I've had like 12 amateurs coming through and turning over. So I think there's a massive gap in between, like, that needs to be filled, really, of boxers. Do you know what I mean? Do I make that sense?
Yeah, definitely. But I do think it's like, in a way, it's a big positive, the fact that you are obviously the first bout of this title, and the fact that there are now enough professionals to be able to have a British title like we haven't had before. Like, I think that does show that there is progress happening in the sport, isn't it? Like, there are more and more getting involved, which is fantastic. So obviously we haven't had that before. Starlord's asked the Tank or Garcia.
Garcia, come on.
Garcia. I know my brother's a big Garcia fan. I know that.
You know what it is, though? I think it's like him on the pads on Instagram and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He puts it out there, like, and he's rapping, isn't he? But, you know, Tank's a bomber as well. You know what I mean? So, but I think the stories of Tank that have come out, like, in the press have put me off a bit. So I think, like, I'm backing Garcia on this one.
Cool. And then a question here on Tyson Fury. When I did the show with Kate as well, we got asked the same thing. Who do you think is to blame for that Usyk fight not happening, or do you think it's kind of fault on both sides? Like, none of us really know, do we?
I'm not a fan of Tyson. Like, I'm a massive AJ fan. I don't think he wants it. I don't think he wants Usyk. I think Usyk's too good, man. I think Usyk's too technically good. I think Usyk would beat him. So I just think he just doesn't want the fight.
He's mellow, like, keeps dragging it out, and then obviously you hear them both like chatting afterwards, and it's like, who do you believe and stuff like that. But for me, like, if you want to fight, surely the fight happens. Like, I don't get
I
all
think
this.
Everyone should fight everyone. You know what I mean? Everyone should fight everyone. You shouldn't, like, you're a professional athlete. You should be ready all the time. Like, I train consistently, if I'm fighting or not. Like, and that's in, like, I could be on holiday and playing volleyball. You know what I mean? Like, I could be on holiday and doing some random table tennis tournament. It's just like
We've lost Bab for a second there. We are going to carry on talking through. She will be back, I'm sure. But to be fair, she isn't lying there. She went on holiday recently and she was constantly training. I know she was running pretty much every day and whatnot as well. And I mentioned it earlier, and I'm not just saying it because it is a close friend of mine, but I've never known a woman who's been so committed to a sport and been able to just constantly dedicate her life to it. Really, she's a full-time PE teacher, and honestly, I'm not exaggerating when I say she's up in the morning early beforehand, running, afterwards immediately going to the gym as well. And you'll constantly see it over her socials, which I'm sure she will shout out very, very shortly as well. But honestly, I can't believe it's took me so long to really do an interview with Bav, because she's such an inspiration. I know the kids at my school where we work absolutely adore her because the message that she just has. And I know a lot of young girls, not just because of Bavvo, of course, but because a lot of people like Bavvo are really getting involved in boxing. And it's nice to see that now we are having this history fight and this British welterweight title. And obviously, let's hope that Bav can bring it home. And she is fighting against Lauren Price. And when we do get Bav back shortly, I'm sure it's just a technical glitch. But when we do get her back, I'm sure she'll be able to say more about Lauren. But I know Lauren is also a footballer. I know Lauren is someone who I'm sure represented Wales. She had a few injuries and whatnot as well. And she's very similar to Bavvo in terms of a story where she started off in football and now obviously does full-time boxing. So I think it'll be interesting to see how that fight fares. Obviously, a lot of the favourite is Lauren, of course, but there's no two ways about it. You can't write Bavvo off, and I obviously go to every fight pretty much at Bavvo's, and I know that she's very resilient. She doesn't give up. She won't back down from a fight. She definitely won't hide from it. And it'll be interesting to see how that fight goes. And I hope you guys can all tune in. Obviously, it is on Sky Sports. We will tell you the details shortly as well. She's back joining me now, by the way. She's here. But yeah, it is going to be on Sky Sports as well. And hopefully you guys can show the support. But Bav, you're back with us. I was just saying here about your opponent, Lauren, how her story is a bit similar to you. How I know she played football, she played for Wales and whatnot as well. And now obviously she's gone full-time boxing as well. I know she had a few injuries and stuff. I remember seeing her on Soccer AM a while back.
Yeah.
We need a petition, by the way. Everyone in the chat start tweeting and acting Soccer AM.
I need to get on Soccer AM, man.
We need to get Bavvo on Soccer AM as well. 100%.
I need to hit that volley top bins, man.
If we do get you on there, though, you can't be fluffing your lines. You've got to be hitting those top bins.
Imagine a fluffy, shin rolly or something, man.
A trip over the trampoline or something.
Just scuffing it. I've scuffed so many penalties back in the day. God.
Right, I've seen a few of them when we played together as well.
They just go over the bar, man. But yeah, do you know I used to watch it when Tim Lovejoy was on it?
Yeah, back in the day.
Me and my mum used to watch it every Saturday. It was sick.
I loved it, and then to be fair, I still love it nowadays. I know a lot obviously doesn't have the ratings and stuff that it has, and I know it's last year.
How did Lauren get on that? Did you see?
It was I forgot. I think she was having I don't know if she was fighting. But it was a fight that she had, and they're obviously talking about a football career and stuff and how she's gone over to boxing. And that's why I think you should get on there, because you've got a very similar story to her, and I think it'd be good for everyone to hear that as well. But I was just on about Lauren now. I feel like it's obviously she's going into this, you'd say, as a favourite, but I was on about your personality and how you don't back down from a fight. You're resilient. You definitely won't hide from it. And I think it's going to be a really, really interesting one. But yeah, what more can you say about your opponent? Do you know much about her, about her story?
I think yeah, similar. Obviously, full respect to her. I put something on my thing, honoured to share the ring with her.
Yeah.
And someone, a few people was like, "Oh, why are you saying that for?" I was like, but it is though. She's MBE. She's won a gold medal, and she's represented the country in both sports. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sick to me. I think it's it's amazing. And what I'm still gonna. I feel like I'm still gonna win. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah, but you can respect for an opponent. Yeah.
Why would you not want a competitive fight anyway? But she's southpaw, so it's gonna be tricky and she's gonna be sharp. She's similar age, she's 28. So yeah, it'll be a good fight. But yeah, full respect to her. I've got good sportsmanship, so it's one of them, mate.
What it is. Yeah. And then give us the full details and the location, the time and the date of the fight. When's it happening, Bav?
So it's on 6th of May. It's at Resorts World in Birmingham. You can get tickets off me. Don't get them off anyone else. And don't pay the booking fee. Pay it off me, because I need the money as well. But get the tickets off me. Off my Instagram page at Bavvo. Facebook Kirstie Bavington. But yeah, I was just thinking about that actually. I was thinking about how competitive I was in football. I think I used to get a red card every season, man.
Until you started boxing and you calmed down a little bit, and then
do you know what it was? Do you know, because I played for Wolves and we was against Albion. and I was like, it's the same with boxing, man. I get overexcited. I just go, like, I just lose my head. I go into it.
You know, I remember clearly at the time. I think I don't know if I was at Calcer at that time or what. And I remember looking on Twitter because obviously playing for Wolves, and I always check the results. I'm playing for Baggy, so I was keen. And I remember reading through, and it being like red card, Kirstie Bavington.
But,
and I
but
remember
you know what they said? The once I slid in and I stayed on the floor and I won the ball, but like the girls like kicked me, and the girl said that I've punched her. I was like, you'd have known about it if I punched her. Do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't be standing up. And then she actually waited for me in the change room. They sent me off. They kept her on.
Mad. I would love to know who that player was. I probably know, to be fair. And then Alex said here, so you were like the Roy Keane of women's football then.
Yeah.
Bavvo definitely had that aggression. To be fair, Bav, you played a few positions. People might want to know this, to be fair. Obviously, when I was at Wolves, you was right back, weren't you? But then you kind of drifted into being like a midfielder, didn't you? Like, what was your favourite position?
I love right back. Do you remember right back? Wolves,
you're a good right back.
Dave Ball and that.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And then I went into the centre. I was only like 15, 16. I was playing first team football already. But yeah, I went into the centre mid. And I kind of drifted up to like number 10. And then because I enjoyed, like, I love to shoot. I wore that good at shooting, but I thought that I could shoot because I could ping a ball. And then I just kind of stuck then, like centre back, centre mid. Thing is, I just wanted to do what I want. I wanted to do what I want all game.
Free roll.
I didn't want to stay in a particular position, man. You know what I mean? Got no discipline like that. But yeah,
I would say that was like your best from someone who's played with you a lot. Like that was your best trait, I think, as a player, though, where you had a ping on you. To be fair, that's why you were useful from right back. You always put a good ball in, and I do think that was like the best part of your game, really. But I think I already know what the answer's going to be for this because I remember your football boots growing up and stuff, and your obsession with this person. But who is like your idol then? For people watching, who would you say your idol is?
It will always be David Beckham. You know what I mean?
I knew it. I remember those Predators growing up. She always used to have the new pair come out, and Bav would have them on her feet the following week, 100%.
I had the 100 cap boots, gold from America. I had them every 6 months. We used to bring them out, man. And my nan and my mom used to save the money just to buy these boots, man, just to make me happy. And I had my name on them and everything, man. It was just, man, I went David Beckham Academy and everything. But yeah, he's the one, man.
And I remember those, the white and the royal blue ones that you had. With like his academy logo was on the tongue.
Yeah.
I remember them ones distinctly as well. But yeah, Bav was always a massive Beckham fan. And to be fair, I got honest, she could bend it like Beckham, like I just said, like the way she crosses the ball in. That's definitely her strong.
I used to be on them free kicks, mate.
I know you did. I remember the one at Kiddyman. Yeah, like Bav, like I need to say this because this story cracks me up every time, and I hope Fries watches this at some point as well. Fries was our captain, okay? Annie is her name, and Bavvo, she'd only been there 2 minutes at Kiddyman stat, and all of a sudden she was calling dibs on everything, like penalties, free kicks, everything. She gets a free kick on the edge of the box, and because Fries was just so annoyed, basically, because Bav was just coming in and calling shots.
I scored an hat-trick though by this point.
Yeah. She did score a hat-trick in this game as well. Like she just comes up behind her and she just like toe bunts the ball away, just to annoy Bav because she just didn't want her to take it. But it was like the funniest thing in your face. I remember you like being so annoyed. But it cracked me up the way that she just did it just to mug you off after that.
But you know when you get the ball though, and you put the point where you put the air in, you put it on the bottom, so it like dips.
She's gonna
I'll put it all ready. It was ready, man. Put my foot there, everything. And she just toe bunted it.
She just ran out of nowhere and just
corner flag.
That's so funny. So I actually watched this back because that cracked me up. But yeah, I forgot that you were at Kiddie Rimby as well. You said that. But yeah, we've obviously had a long career playing football together, and I just want to say as a mate, like I'm definitely proud of you, what you're doing in your boxing, and I'll be there obviously supporting you in May as well. And I hope that as many people can share this stream, obviously yourself as well, share this stream so people can see your journey, because I think it's important, and especially to inspire those younger ones getting through. I know you've already said it, but just let people know where they can find you on social media as well, because I think they should all give you a follow.
Yeah, so it's on Instagram at Bavvo, obviously Twitter at Bavvo_, Kirstie Bavington on Facebook. Yeah, man, but yeah, it's only two weeks now, 2.5 weeks to go. Just got to put that graft in, that last bit of sparring and strength training, and and then we'll be ready to go. But obviously, it's co-main event as well with Batsy, so it's a massive event for us. And obviously BCB as well that have put me through.
Yeah. Alex said there, good luck against Lauren Price. I hope you win. And obviously, best wishes from everyone at this channel. We all hope you win as well. Doug here. Big up Doug. He's a Liverpool fan, but I always say he's all right for a Liverpool fan. Yeah, he's a good guy, Doug. And he said, I follow you on Instagram, Kirstie, and I wish you all the best of luck in May as well. Thank you for that.
How many followers you got, Soph, on here?
On YouTube? I don't know, actually. I don't really use my Insta as much. On Twitter, I've got 51.7k on Twitter. God. And then 15,000 on here. I don't know about my Insta. I need to check that. I ain't sure. Last time it's over. I think it was over 10k though. Hang on. What was I on? I don't even know.
You got your blue tick, haven't you?
Yeah, 10.1k. 10.1k.
You got blue tick yet, have you?
Nah. You know what? I'm so annoyed about that. Just as I feel like I was getting close to it, Elon Musk took over, and now you have to pay for it. I'm not paying for a blue tick. Like, I'm not doing that.
Pay for a blue tick on Twitter?
Yeah. You have to pay. You know, and I can't do that. I want to earn it. I don't want to pay for it, so I'm going to earn it. I ain't going to.
What about Instagram, though?
But I've got like a business account on there because obviously through my YouTube and stuff, so I'm not sure how that works, to be fair. But yeah, we'll keep sharing it, Bav. We'll keep sharing this stream as well in the run up to it as well. And all that's left to say is obviously the best of luck, and I know you're going training as well, and now as well. So all the best for that. And obviously, guys, if you haven't already, please do hit the sub button on Ladies in Red. Hit a like on the video for Bav, my guest as well. Amazing. And of course, if you haven't missed any of your comments or you've got any questions that you want me to pass on to Bav, just drop them underneath, and we'll always respond to them there. All right. All that's left to say is have a good evening. Look after yourselves. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Cheers, Bav.
See you later.